how much are you willing to pay for an Águila beer here in Colombia? Maybe 10,000 pesos, 20,000, 30,000. This is a common problem that happened in the Colombian coast, where tourists pay a lot of money for maybe a food, a common food, maybe for mail transport. How is it possible that a tourist pay 50,000 pesos for a trip in a short trip in the taxi? That is not possible. For this reason, we have searched a solution, because this problem doesn't happen just here in Colombia. This happens around all the world in the underdeveloped countries. In this solution are involved the states and the conscientization of the people. This is a big problem, doesn't it?
There have been too many cases of abuse to tourists, especially in the Colombian Caribbean coast area, and Cartagena has always had the highest number since 2010. In 2017, Oliver, an Australian tourist, came to Colombia to participate in the Cartagena de Indias International Film Fest. He came alone and nobody was waiting for him. So as soon as he arrived at the airport, he took a taxi that would take him to the Hampton by Clinton Hotel, a route that on average should cost 12,000 pesos, about $4. But when he got into the taxi and greeted, the taxi driver said to him, "You are not from here, are you?" And Oliver said, No, sir, I am Australian." All this due to his accent and his low level Spanish. When the taxi driver knew that, he started the taximeter, and from the back of it he put it on tourist mode. Obviously a trick, so that at the end of the road, even though this taximeter only marked 240 points, it was charging 150,000 pesos to the tourists, only for a 12 minutes road. Fortunately, Oliver is not so innocent, and he had looked for an approximate price in the fares of the roads he would have to travel. And thanks to that, he realized that the taxi driver was trying to charge him more than 10 times the actual price. For that reason, he called the police, and due to this is something very frequent, the police has special actions that in these cases. And because Oliver made this call in English, the taxi driver did not realize what was going on until the police come and got to the taxi and solved the situations. This is something that happens every day, and just one of the techniques that the tricksters use to get advantage of their ignorance. We regret to tell this kind of stories, but it's something that happened.
Okay, to solve this problem, we need to know that the sellers of the tourist zones maybe will augment the cost of the sales and the service that they can provide. But we can do that they offer a major price to the tourists. According to this, we need to know that the many tourists go to the places they want to visit other things, but maybe the persons of that places need a lot of money and offers an exorbitant price to this, and we can have other things to go to the tourists and go to the places that they want at low cost. Other thing is that the price of the taxis. Maybe we can improve an app that maybe can have the tourist and the taxi. And with this, we can know the route and the price of that. With this, the tourist will know what is the cost and will pay a low cost. And the other thing is the person that maybe work in the beach because that person maybe to the tourists are so quickly to go and say that we need money, and the tourist doesn't pay for the things that the person will do.
I'm sure that you would not like to be robbed like this way, will you? Therefore, the government has to stop allowing this kind of abuse. And then we have concluded that this problem has become harder and more frequently. So, if the government wants to stop this situation, they have to implement some business policies, fines, and suspension of license to the scammer, of course. Also, they can bring some brochures and infographics on the beaches, in the city center, or at the airport. So tourist people will get informed about some products price, and it would be an alternative solution for this situation. So thank you.